What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are going to watch today Andor episode 999. John, how are you?
I feel rebellious. How are you?
I feel like conforming to imperialism.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. Also, as always, full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with your own copy of Andor, available for Super Sexy Rejects at our Patreon page. Your support is just so expected. I expect you to do it, so do it. No, it means a lot. Thank you. And yeah, let's get to it.
Park attended a separatist meeting 2 years ago in Jondara where he met a woman who suggested that if he was serious about politics, he might like to act as liaison for Ferrix when he returned home. He was sent the fractal radio unit you used yesterday afternoon.
Oh.
This unknown woman, who recruited him to the cause, seemed less interested in generating political activity on Ferrix than she was in using your planet's unique commercial position to acquire stolen Imperial equipment. Were you aware that the buyer, your contact, met Park only once before being turned over to you?
Uh-oh.
Don't express at all, Bix.
Well, Simon Park says you've had at least 6 meetings he's aware of.
Don't look down.
Stop emoting.
He and Andor, blowing up buildings and killing security guards. You're injured trying to warn them. Your co-worker is killed trying to win your freedom.
Really knows all.
You show respect for Tim.
When was the last time you spoke with Cassian Andor?
Love how she gets comfortable framing, but Biggs because he's like uncomfortable close-ups.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Worst thing you can do right now is bore me.
Come up with an entertaining lie.
Be 41 shifts tomorrow.
You are the next man out. You are the shortest of the short. This swap your idea.
Me? No, it's Tiger. You kidding?
Turn. Wise move.
You man for them today? Always the next day, right?
You know the drill.
Don't get smart with me.
Shut up, Andor!
Extremely hostile to the concept of an Imperial refueling centre that was being planned. I say was because they created such a stir that the local commanders were granted permission to use any means necessary and, well...
They massacred them all.
There were 3 communications officers monitoring the documentation, and they were found, hours later, huddled together in various states of emotional distress in a crawl space beneath the ship's bridge. We've taken the recordings and modified them slightly, layering, adjusting, and we've found a section of what we believe are primarily children.
This is so sadistic.
Is he referring to those flashbacks?
Let me know when you're willing to cooperate. Oh, and if you're having difficulty speaking, just shake your head from side to side.
You'll want to be sure of that, Bix. That you're cooperating fully. It's repeat listenings that cause the most damage. Are we ready?
Ugh.
I can handle it. I listen to children dying all the time. Whoa.
Whoa. Love these cheeky cuts back and forth. Oh, buddy, what you got there? My prison shank.
On program. New man on the floor. Everyone hold positions.
Oh, Christ.
You man on the floor! Hold your positions!
2 men back. 2 weapons. No boots.
No boots.
Silence!
He's touching the rail. Believe me now, the elevator's not wide. Nothing that moves can fry you.
Ah.
We attack while they're coming down. Now. They'll just go back up. No. We make it stop. We shut it down halfway. Take one guard, one weapon.
This is so clever.
Shall we begin?
Damn, she looks so messed up.
When was the last time you spoke with Cassian Andor?
Go to hell.
Let me.
I can do it.
I know.
Ready up. I'm ready.
Ready now.
Olaf's not making it out of here.
Just talked about this. He told you 2 minutes ago. Do you think I don't want to win? Am I working or not? One rack up, ours to lose. What are you waiting for?
You're a noble man, Olaf. You got good work ethic.
Kill him. Oh man, I guess she spoke.
Keep her here. Keep her alive.
As a hostage?
As a witness.
And Salman Park?
I don't care.
I'd like to hang him. Make sure they know who's in charge.
As you wish.
Yeah, they're not clear on that.
The Public Order Resentencing Directive is the next step on an all-too predictable march toward complete, unchallenged authority.
Woo!
Our second vow is to protect the power and independence of this remarkable chamber.
This is so noticeable when they turn off their lights.
Yeah.
They called from the residence. Your cousin, she's arrived.
At the embassy? She's there now.
Well, they said you'd want to know.
Cousin?
Yeah.
Con Mothma?
Ron Mothma? Don Mothma?
Something's wrong.
Whatever it is, they're taking their time about it.
What's going on? I think it's level 2.
God, you had to have great eyesight to make out with me.
What was that?
Someone didn't load in, they are counting.
So they cut the power?
What do you think's happening?
Something bad.
I mean, you don't look confident, Andy Serkis.
Takes a week for one word to get all the way up here, and you're panicking about something that's happening on the other side of the building! How many hands does it take for one word to get through up here?
It's a long way, Kino, yes, but you've got to
Stamina.
Kino, you're going to give yourself a heart attack now. Damn, Kino's just so desperate to keep things in order so he can get the hell out of here.
It's amazing.
Her cousin's Vel?
Father may have an opinion. We'll see if he lets you wear it.
He lets me do anything I want.
Dang. Real cousin or cousin?
I don't know. I call my fiance my cousin, so, you know.
I call all my lovers my cousin.
Mm-hmm. It's the only way I can get excited.
The Empire doesn't rest, Mon. The rebellion comes first. We take what's left.
Tell me you're going home for a visit. They've been after me to find you.
Yeah, of course. Just came through to see you first and get cleaned up a bit.
They are cousins.
Seriously, Vel, what does he have you doing?
Who?
Ha ha ha.
Please tell me you're being careful.
Things are happening. There's risk.
I'm starting to think we're in over our heads. He's got us spinning
Stop.
out of it.
You took a vow.
It fits.
It's nice to see her positively responsive to someone.
Mm-hmm. Gotta keep your cousin around more often. Maybe your husband will lighten up too.
How many guards on each level?
You want out of here alive, turn that part of your mind off.
How many shifts do you have left?
217.
Tell me what you know before you go.
You've been warned.
You think they care what we say?
You're on your own with this.
You think they're listening?
They're so fat and stupid.
Their ears are clogged.
Good luck to you.
You think they care what we say? Nobody's listening. How many guards on each level?
They don't even get a blanket.
No, I guess not. Just sleep on your arm.
Andor returned to Ferrix 3 nights after Aldani with money in his pocket.
You're trying to connect Aldani? That's a bit of a stretch.
He was clean-shaven.
Oh my god. The facial hair is becoming an important detail.
We rendered a beard back onto his face.
That's worth running down.
An Aldani connection would certainly amplify interest. Let's follow that up.
Damn.
Better now leaving her in place and standing back. She's too old and frail for anything serious, and if nothing else, she's our bait. She's the reason Andor came back.
Perhaps they communicate.
If they are, we'll know. We're on her full time.
Oh, you're enjoying this.
Shit.
Ugh.
I'm so proud of you. You've come so long, so far.
The prouder I become, the less I like you, but keep going.
What?
What happened to you and 2-5?
We weren't told anything.
You're kidding.
They don't know about it.
They were fried out.
They're all gone.
Oh my God, what?
100 men. That can't be right.
Whoa.
Heard nothing.
What did he say?
I don't know.
They don't care.
It looks like someone's going to start helping out Andor.
What did he say? What happened on to... Yeah, we don't know.
They set them all free.
Oh, no.
You know, we need to be careful. The less they think we know, the better.
Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. We have heard nothing. It's just another day, another shift.
Oh my God. He's losing his shit.
Until we know what's going on.
Oh man, Andy Serkis was a great addition to this.
Yeah. Says the complete opposite thing with his face.
I find you a job. I press your uniform. I prepare 2 meals a day. I move mountains to scrape you off the floor and put you back on your feet. What is the return on my investment?
We were talking about you.
Oh my God, this is so relatable.
All that time away on Morlana. What if I'd let your neglect drive me insane? Imagine that. Look back just months ago, when you could easily ignore me.
You never called.
I've been promoted.
I knew they'd recognize your promise.
Yup. I knew I was right to invest in you as an asset.
Right. Come on, boys, let's go. 1, 2. Let's go.
I'm there. I got it.
You're doing good, man.
Come on, Leather. Hands away. Yeah. Pull up. Hands. Turn. Come on, boys, we can do this.
Come on, dude, you're so close.
You remember Tay Colmer?
I do. Mother's old boyfriend.
We were in grade school together.
At least you've not gone political, Val. All the interesting people are getting very tedious these days.
No one ever calls me tedious. We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark. We're making something of our lives.
Or you could just enjoy the money.
Hey, you did your part. Go home.
Damn, this does make it a hell of a lot more personal.
The loneliest woman in the galaxy.
Are you stalking me?
I know you work here, and I come sometimes to see if I'll see you.
Dang.
Just being in your presence, I've realized that life was worth living. I realized that if nothing else, there was justice and beauty in the galaxy, and if it just kept going. Perhaps my deranged belief that there was something better fated for me in the future.
It's just like watching 2 psychopaths in writing.
Yep.
I want what you want. I sense it. I know it.
You're out of your mind. I have already given you a second chance. You come near me again, you pursue any of this, and I swear I'll have you in a cage on the Outer Rim.
He got to you, though.
How can you not with his charm?
His piercing stare, his serial breath.
There's a 400,000 credit withdrawal that's proving a bit of a problem. It appears on the ledger, then it vanishes.
How much trouble am I in?
There's no trouble at all unless they scan the accounts.
But that's coming.
Then yeah, you're in a lot of trouble.
A Chandrilan banker with treasury relationships.
You have someone in mind.
It's not a long list.
And yet you're afraid to say who it is.
Davos Kalden,
He's a thug.
the wealthiest thug of them all.
Oh.
He wants to meet here.
Davos Gulden here? You must be joking.
I pushed back, but
He insisted.
I could keep looking.
time is not infinite.
The rebellion is not worth it.
All
Costs
these
this much
headaches.
money. Jesus.
Money, headaches, time.
We don't want Krieger getting spooked. Can't hang on to him. We can't let him go.
Destroy the ship. Make it look like an accident.
There's too much at stake. If I were Krieger, I'd be suspicious.
We want Krieger moving forward.
What if we foul the ship? An accident, something mechanical. Have the pilot found dead in the cockpit. What would happen? If we did it quickly, staged it properly, let it drift into traffic.
Make it so top priority, quickly and carefully we leave no trace. Excellent work.
So hot.
No.
2 takes the shift by 6 racks, and 3. Table 1 in the box.
Olaf.
Come on, let's get this done.
What's going on, buddy?
On program.
Cover him.
Inmates on program. Program in place. Low yields tables in position.
He gonna get fried.
Jeez.
This poor guy.
Get going. Now. Hang in there, Olaf. You've only got a few shifts left. You're going home.
Man, it's just like all those heartbreaking prison movies.
Haven't seen you for a while.
Haven't gone anywhere.
His name's Olaf.
I've seen him before. Hold up.
Pay attention to everything, Cassian.
He's got 40 shifts left. So we just want something to get him through the next few days.
That's another option.
What? You can't save him.
Nothing to save. He's had a massive stroke.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
I can't help him. I can't help anyone. I need a bag and a trolley.
It's coming.
Space Kevorkian.
He's lucky. He'll pass peacefully, which is more than I can say for the rest of us. Another week like this, and you'll be begging for what he's getting.
What do you mean?
You heard me.
No. Elaborate, you dick.
You'll feel nothing.
Oh.
He's passed.
Oh no.
Keep my men in line. What happened down on 2?
I need a bag and a trolley.
I said it's coming.
Trying to get him out of here.
They made a mistake. A man who was just released on 4 ended up back on 2 the next day. Word got out on the floor and then they killed them all.
Woof.
If he was released.
You heard me.
You break back in?
At least your friend is free.
You two, on program now. Up, hands on your heads. Move. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Looks like you got to start working together to get out of here. You know what to do.
How many guards on each level?
Never more than 12.
Yeah, dude. Let's do it. Come on. Ah.
Oh, come on.
It's the most badass a number as the last line has ever been.
Alrighty. So that was a good episode. That was a really thrilling one. Picking up just so soon after the last episode, which was already really great, but much more deliberate. This had a very like tick-tock pulse about it all. Like you could feel there was some death or something impending, just looming around the corner on each stone. And I love how just everything's ramping up without it relying on action scenes. It's just ramping up with takeover. Like now that the Empire is taking it serious, this rebellious threat, and just how much they're going in there, or torturing Bix, and even with this prison system they got set up, like something goes wrong and annihilate everyone on level 2. I think it's scary. Like, you do forget about where this is all ultimately going, and I appreciate that about the show. Appreciate about it a lot, because they're so good at like introducing even newer characters, and it helps to have someone like Andy Serkis as this Kino character, where it's Andy Serkis, so he's going to bring something special to it. Even if it's something small, he will bring something special. And I love how substantial his character is becoming, and the way they have done the arc in such clever, witty sort of dialogue, with at first Cassian trying to wring out some information from him, and he's refusing to volunteer because it's all about just sticking it through until the very end, and he can finally get out of there clear. But then the revelations at the very end of this episode just force him, like, okay, no, I got no choice but to break out and survive. I'm worried that Kino will die. I am concerned that he'll die because, he has, at the end of the day, really given it his all. And you could see in this episode that he actually has care. He's not just some, like, ruthless hard ass. He really does eventually, like, have moments that just kind of peek through the clouds a little bit to show, no, this guy does really actually care. He's just very militant about it all. And now it's time to be as desperate as everyone else, and to have someone. I mean, you're trapped in prison with the right guy. You're Cassian Andor, who's gonna climb his way up the top of any group he's in.
Yep.
And then
despite not having aspirations, apparently, but clearly to the contrary.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see what they're doing there. I'm really liking a lot everything with the whole prison setting, and everything that feels like prisoner of war. The correlations there. This enslavement treatment that they have, it's so brutal, but in ways that also feel more psychological than physical. While there is physical ones, I think they're doing such an excellent job of fleshing it out. But they are making everything feel like such turmoil for everyone on the rebellion side, and the fight's just barely even begun.
Yeah.
They're just perceived as a threat right now.
Yeah, we're still dealing with the aftermath of their first major serious
Aldhani.
strike.
Yeah. They haven't even really done much yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we need to shut this shit down.
Crush this.
Any insurrection must be stopped. I love it. Love it so much. But, yeah, I mean, there's more to touch on. Go ahead, John.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, yeah, this was easily perhaps the most sort of, maybe not the most tense episode, but it had a specific kind of tension that permeated kind of every scene that did feel, like you can feel the pinch of everything and the precariousness of everything, and just every storyline we checked in with had some kind of dread quality to it. Even watching Dedra Meero, pretty much keep succeeding. Even still, like with that, there you see the harshness of the way they, do their interrogation and the weird disconnect in the emotionality of that. She's really enjoying it, and then her doctor guy is like super pleasant and like completely detached from the implications of the entire thing, and you keep cutting back and forth, and I love the geography of all that, because you can feel the urgency from the Empire, even though they still feel like they have the upper hand. You feel the urgency from, the people in the Senate position who have the most, arguably, at this moment to lose, Mon Mothma and her cohorts and Vel and whatnot. And then you have Andor and the prisoners, and I love, what you pointed out about Andy Serkis. You really feel that sense of a guy who has had to create this persona as a means of both getting through this for a personal point, but also for actually, helping others to do so. And it's an easy kind of vibe that wouldn't come across that way. Like you said, he comes across like this hard ass, but you can always tell, and especially here, that he's doing it for you rather than to you, or at least that seems like how he's kind of looking at it. And I did really love the internal play they did with him, especially Andor keep poking at him about like what's going on, how many guards are there, or we're trying to find out what's going on too. And even in a system like this that you're being punished and to some degree oppressed, You know, you can watch as he is even being broken of that paradigm, you know, coming out of that belief system. And yeah, maybe at least, if not living long enough to join the rebellion, at least coming to a place where you can tell he will do something significant for the cause, or that will ultimately contribute to the cause. And I think he's portrayed that beautifully. And the whole thing with Olaf, and you get the combination of both things. It's like you get this individual guy who's very close to us, who's on our level, and you see how they treat him, and you kind of get, I thought the doctor was an interesting character, because that's a person who is, you'd be maybe relieved to see, but who's also like a prisoner too. He ain't got shoes on, so he's clearly not in any kind of position of power. And the more you learn in this limited capacity, yeah, the more you really start to wonder, like, oh yeah, they're probably, even though they've coerced us into believing in this game, and they've created this manipulation to make the prisoners, you know, compete with each other and you know, be more productive. Yeah, it's not really for anything, and it's really just about surveillance and keeping an eye on you, or keeping you under the thumb. And yeah, all that. I like that they really waited to give you the reveal of what really happened down on 2, and you have everybody trying to get the information, and you just have that frantic quality of communicating across the thing, and it just seems like things are getting worse, but we can't really tell why or what. And I think that's an important part too, because in especially the prisoner's position, your mind has to be running wild, and it's already enough trouble to keep yourself sane, but then to also then find out, you know, what this sterile factory really is for, and perhaps, you know, what the true outcome will be for each of these prisoners is quite sinister in a whole other way. And you see the sort of just true cruelty of the punitive measures of the Empire, which, I mean, you know, they've been illustrating, but I think here is especially, I don't know, there are always arguments about the ethics of how we treat our prisoners and how we achieve the retrieval of information, and this definitely highlighted both of those things. And even how we treat our allies in getting that information, you know, that whole awkward exchange between Deirdre and Cyril. Like, I'm fascinated by what they're trying to do with that relationship, and the way that they are clearly aligned but not aligned, and I wonder what is going to become of that friction. But yeah, this was incredibly just it's like a great continuation, but also had a nice sort of uniquely dreadful quality to it, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think what they're doing with Mon Mothma is very fascinating. She's someone who I like prior to especially this show has always been this sort of elegant, regal character. Someone who you see, she's always looked like some kind of angel, you know, this shining light. But here we really get to see she's had it really rough. Like, she's got to struggle, and she has to deal with, like, even in her, like, this, it's one of those cases of the secret identity is really the one she presents to Coruscant. You know, those motivations and the divisive political figure, the one that she puts forward, when the real her is the one who's like helping out with the rebellion and cares so much about the souls. Like, that part of her political side has that personality. I'm saying that, you know, she has like the big secret of what she's really doing, but she's not really feeling like buddy with the Empire and such. And on both sides, she seems like she's just crapped on. You know,
Yes.
like, and Coruscant, no respect. And then the rebellion side, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to funnel all the money, and everyone's just kind of giving me crap about my family. Doesn't seem, my daughter hates me, my husband hates me. Luthen seems to just kind of abuse his power. Like, it just keeps, nothing seems to be lining up well for her, and she keeps trying her best and trying to remain strong. And I really like what they're doing with fleshing her out, and also with Vel. There's a character that I do find interesting, and I like. They really did sell me on that she was someone who comes from poverty, and that she's someone who comes from the muckiest parts of the world as well. Like, not one part of her seemed to indicate that she would be of wealth, and come to find out that, oh, she does have kind of, you said Batman, kind of have a Batman thing going on here, where oh, you're financially fine.
Yeah.
You have your shit together, but that's not what you're really all about. Like who you really are in the shadows, I think is a really cool, consistent theme to keep drawing. And the way I thought the show was shaping up Cyril to be the main antagonist because he was our introductory antagonist. It looks like it's going to be Deidre who's going to be the main antagonist, and perhaps some type of partnership that seems like that will form between them. That seems to be on a whole other kind of demented level because they're both kind of psychotic in their own ways. Like that whole exchange that they had outside, like Cyril's just socially like messed up. He's a bizarre individual. And I'm like, that's not your mom, you know, like whatever relationship you think you don't get with your mom, you're not going to get that here with her. And I think you think that's what's happening, but that's not what you're really getting. Nope. And the way she reacts to him is there's a part of her that does seem a little bit like she knows I shouldn't interact with him and he's doing some very unethical things. I could have this man killed, but there is a other part of her that there's a reason why she hasn't. And she's slightly drawn to him too. They just seem like some type of twisted little horror tale of characters that would come together. They look like the kind of characters who would like make out, but like with their mouths like on the inside of their teeth, their lips, and then just saliva dripping,
and their
mouths just clammed together.
And their bedroom role play is she dresses up as his mom and punishes him.
Yeah, they're very weird duo. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued by the grim sci-fi quality of slapping those two kinds of characters together, because she seemed pretty normal at first, but the more we get to know her, the more you're like, oh no, you're pretty messed up, lady.
There's a reason why you are at the status you're at within this organization. Yeah.
And then Bix is being propelled now. A lot of these characters are just survivors who I feel like with Andor and Bix, a lot of these characters are people who are survivors who look out for themselves, and now they're being pushed into situations where there's survivors who are going to be looking out for a greater cause now and fighting for that. So I think that's a big part of what the triumph of the human spirit is of the rebellion. Like they really capture that with this show of this is what the rebellion had to triumph over. Like they fleshed it out in a way that feels like a real thing, you know. It's like bizarre.
Totally.
Like I'm talking about something that's not a real history account, but it feels that way. So yeah, it's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's an impressive show.
Yeah.
A lot of sex appeal all around. Like that old guy who died.
I know, he was so hot. I was
So
so
sexy.
bummed. And whoever this, thug guy is who's going to fund Mon Mothma, I bet he's sexy too.
I say he was a senator or something.
Um,
not a senator, but he's like someone. Like she called him I thought it was an insult about him, but that's not his position.
I forget exactly what they referred to him as, but yeah, some kind of like, clearly they have an ethical sort of divide between them, but that's also part of, I think, that's easily part of this conversation is, no matter which side you're on, you're going to be forced into a position where you're going to have to deal with somebody unsavory who it might not look good on paper for you to be dealing with, but they're the one with the means, and so we kind of have no choice.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're going to show up in some fashion, and our pilot, whoever that may be. I hope. Where was the last time we had eyes on Cinta? I hope she's okay.
Cinta?
Yeah.
The girlfriend?
Yeah, because she can take care of herself, and she's got a whole bunch of different skills, and she was like on her own, moving around and stuff like that. So part of me is like, oh god, did she get cinched, or is it going to be my dude?
She's probably exploring her options, you know?
That's right. Do I want to stick with this rebellion?
Or Vel? Does she want to stick with Vel?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of trouble, and it seems like a lot of long distance. It's hard to do relationship.
And when Andy Serkis is hunched over, he looks like Gollum still. I love that. Alrighty, guys. That's it for Andor. Tune in next week where Andor, you know how it goes. All right, I'll see you guys.